Alright, well, welcome everybody. We are doing a re-record of the audio commentary portion of this match for the Battle Royale that we were doing in the Let's Get Wicked Discord. Um, Apologies for having to re-record sound over this original match. It's the first time I've been recording things, and just trying to get a little bit of audio so we can have some commentary background for the match. Anyway, this match is going to feature Scar and Oogie Boogie, played by Angel of Speed for Scar and MetaCross for Oogie Boogie. This is the first time we've seen Oogie Boogie in competitive Villainous. It's fun to see a new villain. Always fun to see a new villain added on here. So we're just going to be seeing some setup here. And I believe, let's see, we have Oogie Boogie going first here. And he's gone over to Halloween Town, and we're going to see a card play. This is going to be It's a Vacation, which is an effect that lets you draw and discard rather the top 3 fate cards and draw 1 villain card for each hero discarded. So we see another card play here. This is going to be our first Imposter Sandy Claus. The objective of Oogie Boogie is to defeat Jack Skellington, and he does that by first getting rid of Sandy Claus, who starts the game as a prisoner in Oogie Boogie's lair. Whenever Imposter Sandy Claus is played, Oogie Boogie will roll the dice, and if it's a 7 or higher, place Imposter Sandy Claus onto Sandy Claus. So that is the first one that he has. He needs 4 of those to remove Sandy Claus and put Jack Skellington in play. I'm going to see first play by Scar here. Going over to Pride Rock and playing Long Live the King. I'm going to discard all of those heroes and not play any of them. And it's back over to Oogie Boogie. So let's see what we've got here. Looks like Oogie's going to go over to the Trio's Treehouse. And what are we going to see here? We do have a fate at this location, so we might see one of those. Here comes Imposter Sandy Claus. And rolls a 5. So that's going to get discarded. And let's see what we have. An Injustice by Scar, which is going to let him look at the top 2 cards, decide whether or not he wants them to be played against him. We're going to see a Zazu versus Nala here. Probably not going to play Zazu. Zazu, for the heroes at his location, gives a negative to their strength value. So we're going to see Nala played to the Savannah. Scar's going to move over to the Gorge and put down Hungry Hyena. Yes, no, maybe. Let's see if we change our mind here. Yes, we're going to play a Hungry Hyena. Ed being there lets that only cost 1 power to play. And then looks like we might be moving that over to Pride Rock. I'm going to see a fate on Oogie Boogie here. Alright, so we have a couple options. We've got the Mayor of Halloween Town and Set Things Right. Mayor being played over to Halloween Town to block that gain 3. And whenever he's defeated, Oogie plays the first revealed hero card, but he has control of that hero being played. Let's see. We've got Oogie Boogie at the graveyard. Let's see what we get here as a fate against Scar. There's a Hakuna Matata, which would allow Nala to be moved, but instead we're going to see a prophecy put onto her. Scar's objective, for those not familiar with him, he has to defeat Mufasa and have 15 strength of heroes in the succession pile, which starts after defeating Mufasa. We're going to move over to Pride Rock, gain some power, and see what we see here. Are we playing or discarding Stick With Me? Stick with me lets you take an action at a different location that has a hyena. So we might just be seeing that one discarded here. I'm gonna spend 2 on a Stampede. And now we're gonna play Stick With Me to move that Stampede over. Taking the move action from the Gorge. All right. Passed on over to Oogie Boogie here. We're gonna see gain 2. And are we gonna vanquish? It looks like we are going to vanquish the Mayor. Spider is the ally for Oogie Boogie. And let's see what. So okay, we defeated the Mayor, and we're going to reveal to see a hero. The first hero that comes out is Sally. So Oogie Boogie actually gets to play her where he wants to play her. Sally's ability says that Oogie Boogie is then moved to her location, but can then only move to adjacent locations. So we're actually going to see Oogie get a couple extra actions here. First, I think we're going to gain the power for the spiders and draw 2 cards. When a spider is used in a vanquish action, Oogie gets to gain 1 power and draw 1 card. Now we're going to play some bats with our extra play a card that we gained. And Fate. Scar has Injustice again. I'm going to be discarding Rafiki's stick and putting back, looks like, Pumbaa and Mufasa. Oogie choosing not to play Mufasa for Scar, instead playing Pumbaa to the Gorge, maybe. Let's see what we get here. Are we going to drop him on the Gorge? I think, yep, there we go. Okay, so dropping him onto the Gorge, and what else do we have? That should be about the end of the turn here. We've got Scar going to Fate, Oogie Boogie. We see Citizens of Halloween Town being played. They kind of act as the children do for Yzma. They have to be the first hero defeated, but it's only at their location, not the entire realm. They're choosing to block the Fate at the treehouse. Let's see, we're going to have Oogie Boogie going to the treehouse anyway, gaining 2, and playing another copy of Imposter Santa Claus. Getting to see our first use of a cheat. Oogie Boogie has, I believe, 3 copies of this cheat in his deck, which lets him reroll 1 die if the dice roll fails. Now Scar. Oop, here we see a condition for Oogie Boogie. This condition is actually called Trick or Treat, and if another player gains power, Oogie gets to play Trick or Treat, roll the dice, and on a result of 8 or more, gain the same amount of power. On a 7 or less, take a power from any player. We see a steal of a power from Scar here. And we're going to see another Long King. What kind of cards are we going to get? We're going to discard all of those, it looks like. Yep. Do not want Simba on the board too early. Make those hyenas not have enough strength. As much strength, excuse me. Alright, we're going to play a Hungry Hyena to its location. Hungry Hyenas gain 1 power for each other hyena at their location. And let's see what we got here. Oogie moving over to the graveyard. Let's see if we play anything here. What card do we want to play? We're going to see one of the trio here. The trio each have a couple different abilities. They each gain 1 strength when one of the others is in play. Barrel's additional ability says when Oogie Boogie rolls the dice at Barrel's location, increase the results by 1. We see Timon played. And we're going to put him with Pumbaa or put him somewhere else. Deciding here. Yep, we're going to leave him at the gorge, I think. So Scar taking his turn, moving over. And we're going to choose to get rid of Timon. Taking off those strength tokens. Timon and Pumbaa buff each other up strength-wise when both of them are in play. And we're going to fate Oogie Boogie. We have 0 or another citizens. So since the citizens here are now with Sally, they have to be vanquished before Sally is. So again, Oogie kind of being restricted by Sally's ability, only moving 1 adjacent space at a time. So look, we're going to go over to the lair and do some vanquishing. Yes. Okay, so we're going to come over, gain a couple power. And let's see what options we have here. Deciding what to play, what to do. Okay, so we're going to start off by vanquishing. And we're going to use the bats, and bats' ability is that whenever they are used in a vanquish action, they're discarded, and then Oogie Boogie gets to choose an ally from the discard pile and return that to his hand. We're going to see a play of one of the other trio, and that one looks like Shock. So again, Shock has the same ability to gain a strength when either Shock, Lock, and Barrel are in play. Also, if Oogie moves to Shock's location, draw a card. We've got Scar playing a Be Prepared, discarding 3 cards and choosing an effect, which is going to be along with the king. Let's see what kind of... there's Mufasa. Getting the benefit of getting rid of Rafiki and Rafiki's stick in that action as well. So let's see what we've got here. We're going to discard a Hungry Hyena and draw a couple cards. Oogie Boogie moving over to the graveyard. Drawing a card due to Shock's ability. And what are we going to play here? We're going to see our first play of Making Christmas Time, which lets Oogie Boogie roll the dice. If he rolls an 8 or more, he can perform any non-fate action in the realm that's open and available, choosing to use the Vanquish action to get rid of Sally. And we can also discard some stuff now if we want to. So you're going to discard some bats. And what else will we see here? We're going to see a fate with a prophecy being put onto Mufasa. Scar is going to go over to Pride Rock. And we're going to play Whisper. We see Oogie Boogie's other condition here. What did Santa bring you? If another player plays a card, you can play What did Santa bring you and discard any number of cards and draw 2 cards. We see Scar putting Zazu at the Elephant Graveyard. And we're going to move over Mufasa. So now Zazu gives -2 strength to Mufasa. And I believe I was saying the wrong location earlier for Elephant Graveyard versus Pride Rock, but apologies for that. Oogie Boogie now has free reign of his board. I'm going to come over to Halloween Town, gain some power. And we're going to play the last one of the trio that we haven't seen yet, which I think is Lock. And when Lock is in play, allies cost 1 less power to play for Oogie. Play Imposter Santa Claus with a cheat to get a 7, and now we're up to 3 Imposter Santa Clauses. Discard a spider. And another copy of cheat. And draw. Alright. Scar is going to go ahead and bait. We do see some citizens. It's like we're going to choose to preemptively play them where Jack Skellington will eventually come out. Again, once Oogie gets 4 Imposter Sandy Clauses with Prisoner Sandy Claus, he is discarded and removed from the game, and Jack Skellington is placed there. Let's see what we see here. We're going to see... Nope, changing our mind here. Going over to the graveyard, and we're going to spend 1 to play Imposter Sandy Claus. Dice roll gets an 8. So that's going to bring out Jack Skellington. And we do have Jack and some citizens to get rid of there at Oogie Boogie's lair. So let's see what we have going on from there. We're going to see a Fate onto Scar. And let's see, we have Hakuna or Prophecy. So we can Prophecy Zazu or Pumbaa, or we can move. I believe we're going to move Mufasa out of the way here, yep. So that's going to put him a little farther away from those hyenas and the stampede there. We're going to go over to the graveyard, gain 3 power for Scar. And we're going to see another copy of Trick or Treat. Once again, stealing a power from Scar. Alright, Scar's going to play Be Prepared, try to get back some allies or a condition here. Maybe take that Whisper to move Mufasa back. And looks like back to Oogie here. Go over to Halloween Town. And we're going to gain some power. And what might we play here? Deciding. Let's see. Playing a card. Nope, looks like we're changing our mind here. We're going to play an Imposter Santa Claus. Okay, so when Imposter Santa Claus is played, if Jack is already out, on a roll of 7 or higher, you put a -1 strength token onto him. Jack is an 8 strength hero when he's a hero. If he's played while Santa Claus is still on the board, one of those Imposter Santa Clauses would have been discarded. And we're seeing our first use of the bathtub here. Believe this is Oogie's only item. Whenever it's played, it gives an activation ability to the location he's at, and when it's activated, you can move it and any allies to any location in the realm. It looks like we saw a fate from Scar here. I think that we missed the flipping of the timer on that one, though. Alright, so here we've got a couple different options here. We're going to play What Have We Here to take a Vanquish, and that's going to allow those allies to stay on the board because he rolled an 8. So I think we just need any ally to vanquish Jack, but we'll see what Scar does here. We're going to Whisper and move Mufasa, and move a Stampede over. And let's see if Oogie has an ally or not. I don't think we have. We are playing Long Live the King for Scar. And let's see, we're going to play Simba. We're going to go ahead and play Simba to Zazu's location, giving him -2. Pretty well set up to vanquish Mufasa and Simba here if we can get a couple more allies. Oogie's going to come over to Halloween Town. We do have some bats, so that's enough strength. Oh, and we're seeing this time we bagged him played. So that one is a 5-cost effect that lets Oogie Boogie find and play an effect from his discard pile and choose the dice roll. So he chose to take a vanquish action with What Have We Here? And that's going to be game for Oogie. We do see a defeat of Jack Skellington there. So, alright, so that's game 1 goes to Oogie. And we do, here in this Battle Royale, we're doing a best of 3. So we'll see game 2 starting here in a little bit after they reset the decks here. Yeah, so that was first introduction to Oogie Boogie there. Both played really well. Scar got a little bit of tough luck in getting weighed down by heroes there. But well played by both. We'll see what game 2 has here. Bring back Sandy Claus. And then we've, for this tournament, we've been combining a couple of the different rules from the new I2E expansion with some of the regular rules. So we're starting our villains on the portrait, but not both starting with 2 power. Whoever goes first starts with 0 power, and whoever goes second gets to start with 1 power and can mulligan their opening hand that they want. So let's see what we get for game 2 here. Oop, here we go. We're just looks like resetting the table here. Sometimes a little quicker than clearing up all the components can be by itself. We have loading. Oh, here we go. Oh, never mind. Let's see. Waiting for everything to come back up here. Alright. We're changing our screen up a little bit here. So let's see what we have here. I think that my screen recorder that I'm using is going to show a little off on here. Hopefully you guys can still see most of everything for the cards here. So I cannot change the location of the screen for this recording once I have it set here. But we'll see what we get here. Alright, we got everything reset. And Scar, since Scar lost that first game, gets to choose whether he wants to go first or second in this second game. Looks like we're going to choose to go first, which is going to give Oogie Boogie the 1 power and the chance to mulligan some cards. There we go, that gives a little... Sorry for the screen moving around here, everybody. I think we are set to go here now. And let's see what we got here. So yeah, while we're waiting here, a good first game by Scar and Oogie, and we'll see what we have for game 2 here. Scar gonna start out by going to the elephant graveyard, and let's see, gain some power, and play a hungry hyena to the gorge. And we're gonna discard, draw a couple cards, and move over to Oogie Boogie's turn. So let's see. Oh, getting our timer figured out here. This is the first time in some of our tournaments that we're using the chess timer for a timer. Each player, when their turn is over, will tap their side and turn it over to the next person. You see our first imposter Santa Claus, and along with a spider being played. So Oogie definitely having some good dice rolls here. I think so far we've seen most of them as successes here. And let's see, we're gonna pass to Scar. He's gonna go over to the Savannah and gain a power and spend 2 on Shenzi. Shenzi lets you play a second hyena with her for free, but it looks like we don't have one this time to play. We do see a fate on Oogie, and we're going to play Dr. Finkelstein here, who, when he's defeated, he gets shuffled back into the fate deck. And let's see what we have next. Oogie Boogie going to the graveyard. Gonna play some bats. And I don't think they have the strength to vanquish. They do not. So we'll see a fate on Scar, who does have Injustice. Let's see what we get here. Scar choosing to discard Sarabi and put 1 card back, which looks like a Prophecy and a Hakuna. So dead fate there. And let's see here. We're gonna move back over to the graveyard and see what we have here. Gonna play down a Stampede. Normally Stampede, if it's played to a location with a hero, can move that hero to an adjacent location and then take a Vanquish, but no heroes to vanquish this time. We're going to go back to Halloween Town and put down Barrel. Where are we going to put him? Put him there with the bats. we're going to get down another copy of Imposter Santa Claus, up to 2 now. So we're going to play along with the king here. Let's see what heroes we get here. And we're going to bring out Zazu maybe. Yep. Hoping to get to Mufasa coming up soon in the Fate deck. And what are we going to see? We're going to see Sally played again. So moving Oogie over to the graveyard, who can now only move adjacently. Goes over to Treehouse and takes a Vanquish action. Using What Have We Here. And the allies get to stay. So might see one of those moved over to Sally's location. Yep, and there we go, shuffling the Doctor back into the deck. Interesting that we're choosing to discard the bats and put it back in hand, even though the roll was a 12. We do see Injustice, discarding the stick, and we have Prophecy or Hakuna Matata. So Hakuna Matata, we are moving Zazu, who if he is not at a hero's location, a hero's at another location, he actually gives them +1 strength instead of taking 2 away when he's at their location. So let's see, are we changing our mind here? Just on where we're moving him to. Okay, so over to the Savannah. Let's see what Scar does here. We're going to go to the graveyard and gain some power. Play a Prepared. And what do you take back here? An effect? Yep, we're still digging for Mufasa. Gonna take a Long Live the King and play that. See if we get the king here. We do. Mufasa's going to be played. Is he going to play him? Yep, going to play him to Zazu's location. So Mufasa's a 4 strength right now. And let's see what we got here. Draw some cards. Pass to Oogie. Moves to the graveyard. And we are playing. And we're going to cheat and reroll a die. And that's going to be a success for that. Definitely some good rolls for Oogie Boogie these couple games here. We need one more Imposter Santa Claus. And we're going to see, you Prophecy or do you get rid of a Hyena here? Let's see what we decide to do. Oogie is debating. I would probably cover up the Gorge and get rid of a Hyena. Looks like that's what we're choosing to do. Take away that play a card action. Oh, nope. Maybe. We're deciding between Shenzi and the Hungry. Yep, you want to get rid of that Hungry Hyena. If Shenzi comes back with a Be Prepared, gets another free Hyena here. See a +1 strength for Zazu to Sarabi. And Scar's going to come Fate. And what do we have here? Got some Citizens, cover up that top Fate. And see what Oogie Boogie does here. Gain 2. We're going to go ahead and vanquish Sally. Get rid of her effect from the board here. And we're going to take back Barrel. Yes. From the Bats action. Right. Scar moving over to Pride Rock. Gonna gain a couple power. Move a Stampede. And what do we got here? We got a Hungry Hyena. And another Hungry Hyena. They're all set up to get rid of Mufasa next turn, hopefully. And let's see what Oogie Boogie does here. Go over to Halloween Town, get some power, and put down Barrel. And oh, here we go. We can get our fourth one here. Rolled an 11. And let's see. Scar's gonna get to vanquish Mufasa here. So that starts the succession pile. Mufasa's a 6 strength. We need 15 in the succession pile to win here. So let's see. Next, we got some citizens. And we're gonna put those to the lair. Try to delay Jack being vanquished here. Oogie Boogie coming over to the lair. And we're going to see the citizens vanquished, and we're going to pull back a copy of Bats, looks like. And apologies to you guys if this is coming through on the video. I get to see my computer and its awesome graphics. If it works too hard, I get like a little overlay here, so not going to be the greatest to the end of this video here, it looks like. We're going to play it Be Prepared. And we get back some allies here. Gonna take back a Long Live the King. And pass it over to Oogie. Let's see, Oogie just needs some allies on the board here to get rid of Jack. Coming over to the graveyard. Discard some cards. And see a Fate on Scar here. And we do have Rafiki. Rafiki has to be vanquished before any other heroes on the board. Put him over at Pride Rock. Oh, grab that strength token, there we go. Fading on Oogie. We have the Doctor, and we did see a copy of Hello Oogie go by. Don't think we've seen that one played yet, but if it is played, you place it under Oogie's mover, and the next time he rolls, you reduce the result by 2. Let's see what we get next here. Oogie Boogie needs some power here, looks like. They come gain a couple. Spend 2 on the bathtub and activate it. Oh, using that to move and vanquish citizens to gain a power and a card here. So now we're going to see Scar go to the graveyard. And we're going to see Hungry, Hyena, and discard a couple cards. We might see, let's see, what are we going to see here? We're going to go over to the treehouse and activate. I think we probably are. Yep. Going over to the treehouse. We're going to activate after we play. Oh yeah, there we go. Play and activate to move over those allies there. And we're going to Fate Scar. And we've got Nala or Hakuna. Gonna put Nala down. And we're gonna move Zazu, looks like. Alright, Scar's turn. We're going to move over. Do we see a stick with me to get rid of Rafiki? Nope, we see Along with the King. I'm gonna put Simba out with Zazu. And it's going to be turn here. Oogie Boogie is going to move over. Gain 2, and I think we might just see a vanquish here. Yep. So that's going to be game for Oogie. Good games to both of them. Yeah, definitely some fun first games for Oogie Boogie here. And you got to see him in action here against Scar. Scar had quite a few heroes to deal with there. Those were a couple tough games with that, but yeah, definitely glad we got to watch them. Great games by both. Both played really well. Sorry again for this second recording. We did record all this when they first played, and we had a chance to interview the players. Didn't get a chance to do that here, but yeah, they both played really well. Fun to see Oogie Boogie in a competitive setting, and still doing some more of these Battle Royale games, so I'm sure more will be uploaded in the future. So look forward to seeing Scar and Oogie again later in the tournament. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys later. Bye.